Mom, can I talk to you for a second? What's the matter? I always have this bad feeling when I hear from you. Don't say that. You should be happy to hear from your only son. The problem isn't that I don't feel happy about it. So, what do you want? I'm sorry, but could you send me $500? Money's really tight this month. Ted, you borrowed money last week too. That's enough. You said last time was the last time. I know, but in the city, rent prices and a lot of other things are more expensive, and it just isn't enough. Why don't you come back? You don't even know if your current job is gonna last anyway. Don't say that. I'll never leave my current company. You've changed job just this last year. It'll be fine this time. And I don't want to go back to the countryside where there's nothing. Amy says she can't live in the countryside. You've been married for 3 years. Why don't you ask Amy to get a part-time job before asking me for money? It'd make your life a little easier. I told Amy that she didn't have to work when we got married. But if she doesn't work, you won't have enough money, right? Don't expect your parents to give you money forever. I have my own retirement fund too. I can't waste money. It's not a waste, is it? Your son's in trouble. So you're saying you'll take care of me in the future? Well, Amy doesn't want to live with you. It's a little difficult. Then you should work hard yourselves. You are the only one I can ask. It would be different if Dad were still alive. Even if he were alive, he'd say the same thing. Don't act spoiled. But I thought the inheritance from Dad was still there. Your father died when you were in elementary school. It's already gone to your tuition. And you even had to repeat a year in college. You always make me spend extra money. Stop lecturing me about the past. I am an adult who has graduated from college and is already married. And don't ask me for help. I can't take care of my nearly 30-year-old son. If you didn't want to give Amy a hard time, you would work hard yourself. Please don't say that. Mom, this is the last time. Do you know how many times I've heard you say that? How can you just ask for money? I'm busy. Anyway, I won't give you any more money. There are still things you can do. Why would I give any money to someone who doesn't make an effort? I see. That's fine then. Mom, you're really unreliable. Hey, Ted. I got a call from Amy. What's going on? What? What did she say? She said to please stop picking on her. Oh, you mean about the part-time job? Why is it supposed that I am picking on your wife? Because you said so, Mom. We don't have money because she doesn't work a part-time job. That's misleading. I was really surprised when she said I was picking on her all of a sudden. But it depends on if she feels like she's being picked on. I said, before asking me to support you with money, you have things to do. A couple should work hard together to make a living. If the salary that you make is not enough, then why don't you ask Amy to get a job? Maybe you said it as a suggestion. Amy might think we're poor because she doesn't work. I think the way you told her was wrong. Anyway, tell her that I didn't mean to blame her. Okay? I tried to explain it to her, but she didn't seem to understand. Then send money. Maybe then she'll make up her mind about it. That's a different story. Didn't she ask you to do that? She asked you to come up with a little more money. Well, yeah. People said I spoiled you too much, and all kinds of other things. So it's your fault. It's not funny. How can you blame me? And for the record, she is the one who decided to marry a boorish boy like you. Of course, I feel sorry for her as a mother, but I can't do what I can't do either. Her parents don't want anything to do with us anymore. Did you ask them for money too? How can you be so pathetic? Well, she was the one who asked. It's the same thing. You're so pathetic. For God's sake, make a decent living. If you can't make a living, why don't you ask my uncle to live with him for farming? The rent is cheap there, and you don't even have to worry about food. I told you, I don't want to go back to the countryside. Oh, but I might go home for the first time in a while. We have the holidays coming up. Well, you should come home and visit your father's grave. You haven't been there for 3 years now. And I'd like to know about your living expenses. What? That's not the point. I won't force you to do this. But if you really need help, let me know. I might be able to give you some advice. All right. Well, I'll talk to her about it. Then let me know if you decide to come. I'll make many of you two's favorite dishes. Ted, what are you doing? You already found out? What do you mean I already found out? You used my credit card without my permission. I'm sorry. I just needed a little something. That's a lot more than a little something. I've seen your statements. Various high-brand items. For hotel bills for a trip. Do you know how much the total was? A friend of us invited us on a trip. But we don't have any money. What the hell are you talking about? Using your parents' credit cards just because you don't have any money? I have the card here. You must have taken a picture of the number and security code the other day. Didn't you? Sorry. But we were in real financial trouble. You wouldn't lend us any money, so we had no choice. You wanted the money in the house from the start, didn't you? After you left, there was almost $1,000 in cash missing too. Oh, you noticed? Of course I did. Well, you didn't say anything. I just pretended I didn't see it, thinking you were in so much trouble that you stole from your own parent. Besides, I'd really decided it was the last time. I used my credit card info to go on spending. I won't forgive you. I'm sorry, Mom. I'll pay you back someday for what I spent. So don't be so mad at me. Give it back to me now, not someday. I can't. You know I can't, right? If you're working, you can borrow money, right? So, you can pay me back right now. Do you know how much money you spent on the credit cards? About $3,000. 2 months, $6,000. Really? I'm the one who's surprised. It's definitely Amy. She bought a lot of things she wanted. So, what are you gonna do about it? I'm asking you if you'll pay or not. I can't. Well, then I'll never see you again. I guess this is the last time we'll ever have a mother-son relationship. Huh? You're cutting me off? Yes, I am. Since I'm cutting you off, I'll give you the money you spent as a servant's package. I'm sorry I used your credit card without your permission, but you don't have to be so mad. We were in financial trouble. You can afford it, so... I'm mad because I can't afford it. But you can make a decent living, right? If you two stop wasting my money, I think I can make a decent living. You ordered food delivery right away. If there's something you want, you don't hold back and buy it. Because of that kind of spending, the family budget was plummeting. You call it spending. I work hard. I want to buy what I want. If all I do is hold back, I'll never know what I'm living for, will I? So, please do it within the limits of what you can afford.
Are you sure you want to cut me off, Mom?
Dad passed away,
and you only have a few relatives. I'm the only one who you can call close family, right? I'm your only son.
Even if you are my only son, I would rather be alone than have my retirement savings taken away from me. Besides, what's the point of having you around? When I was in the hospital before, you didn't even come to see me. A boy who was an immigrant at the time, who had recently moved into the neighborhood, he was much more helpful to me.
Even if he was, he's a stranger.
I'm just saying that a son who wants money is worse than a stranger.
Oh yeah? Then you'll live alone, and you'll be lonely.
Yes, I'll live alone. So, just don't bother anymore. That's my last wish as a parent.
A mother isn't a mother if she doesn't help her child. Even if you get in trouble in the future, I'll never help you. Go screw yourself so I can keep a little bit of your money, you old woman. I will never be involved again. Hey, what the hell is going on? Where are you?
Yes?
Mom, there are strangers at your house. Huh? Like I said, I just went back to your house, and there's an unknown man and woman living there, and they said my mom isn't there. What? What's going on? So, a stranger lived in my parents' house, which means you moved out, right?
Strangers? They're my son and his wife. What are you talking about?
I'm your son, and I have a wife, aren't we?
No. He's the only son I have.
Stop joking around like that. I'm the only son of yours, right?
Ted, you're not my son anymore. Have you forgotten that I cut you off years ago?
I haven't forgotten, but that was a long time ago. I'm a grown man and I've reflected on myself too.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm relieved. I'll see you later.
Mom, wait. Who is that couple?
Those people moved in a few years ago. I told you before that someone was kind to me when I was in the hospital, right? That's him. He got married.
So how come they live there?
Because I gave it to them.
What? A house?
Yeah. It's hard to live in the countryside since I'm getting older.
Why haven't you said a word to me? What are you thinking? I thought I was getting the house.
You said you'd never come home.
Yes, but...
You were thinking of selling the house? But it's only worth a few thousand.
A few thousand is a lot of money.
So, you were looking after the house for the money?
No, it's not like that, but I came home because I was worried about you.
Then don't worry. I live in an apartment for the elderly. I've been living just fine.
Where do you live?
I won't tell you. I wouldn't want you to come asking for money again.
I won't do that anymore. So tell me, Mom. I've only just begun to appreciate you over the past few years. I want to apologize. I miss you, Mom.
How's life with Amy going?
Why? Well, it's going well, but...
What about your debt?
What?
You have debts, don't you?
No, I don't. What are you talking about?
That's funny. I got a call a few months ago that you have debt. You borrow money from a sketchy place, don't you? I kept telling them that you weren't my son. If they were going to keep calling, I was going to call the police. After I told them that, they never called me again. Can't pay back that kind of money in a few months, can you? So, what about the debt?
I haven't paid it.
I knew it. That's why you came crying to me.
I'm sorry, Mom. But I tried to do my best. So you guys haven't changed a bit. Don't talk like that. I've been trying to save money lately. Lately? You've had plenty of chances to rebuild over the past few years. I've heard from her parents. They said you stole money from their house while they were away. For me, it's credit card charges. For your in-laws, it's theft. What you're doing is a crime. This is really the last time. I won't bother you again. I'll even take care of you in your old age. Amy says if you'll help us, she'll cooperate. It's too late for that. While you guys are still spending money and making debts, I was preparing myself to live on my own. If anything goes wrong, Mr. and Mrs. Hamilton, who I gave the house to, will be able to help me. They do a lot of things for me. They're much more reliable than you are, so I'm sure I'll be fine. Don't say that. This time it's really bad. I don't know what's gonna happen to me if I don't do something. I borrow money from a really serious place. Even so, you chose to do it. There's nothing I can do about it. Help me, Mom. Don't leave me. I thought I loved you unconditionally because you're my son. But it was you who abandoned your parents' love. I'll do whatever you say, and I'll never get into debt again. I work diligently, so I'm not going to be told by someone who never listened to a word I said before. You've never worked seriously. I'll definitely change this time. I really don't have anything to ask. Amy's parents said they'd call the police just for going near their house. You guys should be thanking me and her parents, right? I should have called the police. You should be thankful I didn't do that. Really, it was my last bit of mercy. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Mother, please forgive me. Forgive you or not, I'm not your mother anymore. I'll never tell you where I live, and I'll block you. I will never see you in any way, no matter how much trouble you're in. I will never get involved with you again. My son and his wife contacted me several times. I blocked the calls so that they really can't get in touch with me. The only reason I haven't done this before is because that I was hoping and wishing for just a little bit more. Maybe it was because I was wanting to hear about my son who had changed. So when the debt collector contacted me, I was sad to hear that nothing had changed. My son and his wife, who hadn't changed at all, were really helpless. But I'm glad I was able to make a solid decision like that. Even though I'm an adult, I didn't save my own child. Perhaps some might accuse me of that. I don't think I need to take care of my own child, who is fully grown and an adult, as if they were a baby. And the love I have for my son? If this incident didn't happen, I'm sure he'd still be here now. I haven't heard from my son and his wife since then, so they must be dealing with it somehow. Whatever they did, I believe they deserve what they got. After that, my son and his wife stopped asking me for money for a couple years. I was working from home and other jobs to make up for the lost asset. Also, I have been in touch with Mr. and Mrs. Hamilton. I don't feel lonely. I've made some new friends since moving into this apartment. I don't know how much time I have left, but I will enjoy the rest of my life with a lot of happiness.
Hey Mia, at today's mom's party, you ordered a lunch set without permission. You're a poor person, but you had the nerve to order a lunch plate. What are you thinking? Emma, what I order is none of your business. No, it is so my business. There's a hierarchy in the mom friends, okay? You're a poor person, so in our group of mom friends, you only get a cup of coffee, since you're at the lowest level. And no refills. That's common sense. Can you even understand that? What is that? Don't make up weird rules on your own and force them on me. I'll eat what I want. It's who I am. What? I'm in the highest castle of my group of friends. I'm the richest one. My husband is still young, but he has already risen to the position of manager. I'm going to keep moving up the ladder, and he's going to be the biggest man out of all of you. Just because your husband is good at what he's doing and working hard, that doesn't mean that you're working hard, or that you're as great as him. You should stop talking about your husband's hard work as if it's your own. What? Stop talking to me in that tone. The nerve of you. Okay. You're trying to act tough, but you're actually really frustrated, aren't you? What? What do you mean? Because your husband... My mom friends tell me that they don't even see him around. In other words, that means he's not going to work, right? So he's unemployed. That's the real scary. You're a married couple and you're not even working. I guess you'll just have to work part-time. What? What are you talking about? My husband is working. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. There's no need to lie like that. Of course you want to hide it. I can't believe he doesn't have a job, but don't worry. It's okay for couples like that to exist. No matter how little money you have, it's okay to be in that kind of relationship. Well, I'm rich, so I would never want to live like that, but I don't know what you had in your breakfast to make that misunderstanding. I'm sorry. I have a good life here, and I don't need you to put me in a castle of your mom friends. You should be free to live your own life and not worry about others. Huh? What are you talking about? There is a castle of mama friends, so you're gonna use it to look down on people. It's so much fun. Oh, I see. You've never had to look down on people before. Don't worry, you don't know how much fun it is. Poor you. You've no idea how much fun it is to look down on people. I'm sorry, but I don't think I'll ever enjoy looking down on people. I'd rather think of everyone as equal and treat everyone indifferently. It's more fun. Huh? I don't understand. There's no way that would be fun. You and I really don't understand each other. I've had enough of you. I'll only harass you in the future, so be prepared for that. This is ridiculous. About your own lives instead of this. I saw your husband the other day. Is him doing that okay? Huh? Where's my husband sneaking around like that? Stop saying things out of the blue! No, I mean, it's not out of the blue. I saw him. Okay. Just because you're frustrated getting talked down to doesn't give you the right to say things like that. I'll disrespect you through and through. You'd better brace yourself. Okay. I wonder which one of us needs to be prepared. I'm sure you're the one who's going to get hurt soon. Everyone in my mommy group has a husband that are lawyers or doctors. Low-income poor people are off limits. Next time, don't show your face. Look who's talking. Your husband got fired from his job. What? What's with the boasting around about the doctors and lawyers? Your husband is a section chief. It doesn't make your husband a doctor or a lawyer by boasting about other people's husbands. And first of all, he got fired. Wait a minute. How did you know about that? I'm so embarrassed. I didn't want to tell anyone. I saw your husband sitting on the swings at the park this afternoon. The mood was unusual, but we had a brief conversation. He sighed and said he'd been fired from his job. The reason was the way he trained his subordinates. It seems like he was giving them too much power of harassment during training, even though he was warned by his superiors. He didn't even change after the wearing, so it was a decision made by the upper heads. I can't believe you know all of those details. You're not going to tell their mothers about this, are you? I'll never forgive you if you tell anyone. Oh no, why? I'm sure they'll all be nice to you. They'll ask you if your life is okay, so I think you'd better accept their kindness. No, I'm at the top of the mom castle. If they knew my husband got fired from his job, they would look down on me. I can't let that happen to me. I can't live my life with everyone looking down on me. So do you want to live a life of lying to everyone? I think that would be too tiring for you. I think it would be exhausting. Instead of doing that, I think it would be better just to be honest with everyone. I told you, I don't want to do it. Besides, a low-income piece of trash like you should stop being so cocky. I'm not trying to intimidate you. And I'm not low income. My husband is not unemployed. And I'm also working. What? You work? Don't lie to me. How can a housewife unemployed like you be working? Why do you assume I'm a housewife? Did I ever call myself a housewife? I never claimed to be one. That may be true, but what? You work? That's what I said. I do a little work from home. But I'm still making about as much as a regular salaried worker. You work from home and earn as much as a salaried worker? How is that possible? Well, it's not impossible. I just make that much money. In fact, it can't be helped. And you said my husband is unemployed? Let me direct you to my husband's credit. My husband is the president of a small company. He makes as much money as a doctor or a lawyer. What? President of a company? That's absurd. Because of your husband, I don't see him out and about at all. I thought he was unemployed. Of course he doesn't go out. It's a job that he can do with just one computer. He doesn't have to leave the house, so he basically is just inside the house all the time. He's been working out inside the house to just keep in shape though. What gives? We always thought your husband was unemployed. So now you have a good example of why you should make assumptions about people based on their impressions. Shut up! Just because your husband works? So what? He just went from being an oddball to a normal guy. Well, by your standards, aren't people with higher incomes supposed to be higher in the castle? My husband earns as much money as a lawyer or a doctor, so I'm assuming I'm at the higher castle than you now? Shut up! That's not possible. I'm the highest in our group of mom friends. I don't need a bottom feeder like you to tell me what to do. I'll never listen. The fact that you can call yourself the highest, I can make some assumptions about you. I mean, don't you ever get tired of obsessing over that like that? If it were me, I'd get tired of it. I'm not interested in what you have to say. I have my own way of thinking. I don't care what you think. And you have no idea how good it feels to look down on people. When you start looking down on people, you'll never know what it feels like. I'm sorry, but I'll never feel good about being condescending. And I guess you and I just have different ideas and values. Stop trying to act like you're nice. We all have the desire to look down on each other. I'm sure you have the desire inside of you too. Don't act like you're the only one who doesn't. I have no such desires. I wish you'd stop making statements like based on your own values, and I don't think you have any time to be talking to me. You better be looking at your own situation. My situation? What the hell is that supposed to mean? You really have no idea. Okay, I'll tell you what you need to know. About your husband, I think he's having an affair. What? Cheating? Yeah, cheating. I know you don't want to believe it, but it's true. Wait! That can't be true. My husband is not having an affair! Even if you say that. I told you before, didn't I? I told you your husband has been sneaking around. He's been doing it ever since I said that. Olivia told me the other day that your husband was walking around in the arm with a young woman. Are you serious? My husband? That must have been a real shock. Still, in fact. So you have to accept it as fact. No, that's not true. My husband would never do such a thing. Don't bullshit me. You're the closest person around him. You don't have any idea what he might be doing. Do you have any idea? Well, lately, he's been telling me that I need to work too. He's been nitpicking at me because he's been having a hard time since he lost his job. But I pushed him away by saying that men should just work and women should be stay-at-home moms. The woman he was walking with, she had expensive clothes and bags. Maybe he chose her based on whether she had money or not. If you said you'd work, the outcome might have been different. Why? I don't want to work. So why should I say I will? I don't want to lie. I didn't have a choice. You have a choice. You've been using your husband's money to be condescending to your friends, and you don't even thank him. He lost his job, and you don't support him. And now, you're telling him to get a new job right away? Don't you think that's a terrible thing to do as a wife? No, I don't. I mean, the fact that he was walking around with a woman, that has to be a lie too, right? I won't believe it unless I see them with my own eyes. Oh, really? Then why don't you just check with your husband? What is he doing right now? I don't know. He's unemployed right now, but he says he has to run some errands every day. He just went somewhere. I see. Well, why don't you give him a call? Maybe you can find out what he's doing. Okay, I'll just call him. He was kind of freaking out. My husband? And I even heard a young woman's voice over the phone. This can't be. No, I don't believe this. My husband is cheating on me. Oh, that's okay. You should sue your husband for alimony and take the kids and get child support. That way you'll have all the money you love. Are you serious? That's just temporary money. Without my husband, I won't have a steady stream of money. Well, that's true, but why don't you just remarry? I have children and I'm over 30. You can't imagine how hard it would be to remarry. I can imagine. So you're just gonna stand by and watch your husband cheat on you? I hate that too. What am I supposed to do? I don't want to believe that he's cheating on me. I think the best thing to do is to hire a detective to investigate the affair. And maybe prepare for a divorce. You need to tell your children from now on that they will have to live separately. That's a big hassle, and I don't like it. We finally made it to the top. Can't just throw it away. Then I guess you'll just have to let your husband's affair slide, huh? I can't do that either. What am I supposed to do? You can't ask me that. But you have two choices, don't you? Either let him get away with doing what he's doing and continue living the way you are living now, or point out the truth to him and get a divorce and start a new life. I don't want either one. What's the best choice? In the first place, I wish you guys hadn't done things in the first place. It's your fault. What does that mean? You told me my husband is sneaking around like he's cheating on me or something? Because of that, I started freaking out. I had to ask him what he was doing. And now, I'm in this situation. What are you gonna do? Because of you? You ruined our peaceful life. Take responsibility. I'm so disappointed. What are you gonna say? Shift the blame? Maybe don't sound like your friends are responsible for your marital problems. What did you just say? It's all your fault. First of all, it's so wrong that a person like me has to go through all of this because of a bottom feeder like you. I don't deserve this. You keep blaming others for everything, but you're always thinking about yourself, so you never think about other people's feelings. The only thing going through your head was about looking down on others. And I think that's the biggest reason you ended up in this situation. I thought you brought the situation on yourself. Why should I be told I deserve it? What the hell did I do? No, are you seriously saying that? You've done a lot of things. You've disrespected me by calling me a low-income earner. You've always bragged about your husband. And you think you're so high and mighty. You're such a fool. That's why you're like this. Why do you have to say that to me? I hate this. What am I gonna do with my husband? Somebody please tell me what to do. It looks like Emma didn't know what to do. But in the end, her husband was the one who ended the relationship and divorced. She had no proof of the affair, so she was not able to claim a large amount of alimony. Emma could only get a divorce. Emma took custody of the child, and she's receiving only child support from her husband. Emma has never worked before, but she began working at a factory as part-time. It seems that she's working to the bone every day. The other mothers were happy to say that with Emma's disappearance, they've been freed from the troublesome system.